I've gotten a bit used to having constant noise or thoughts in my mind. I mean, there's not 5 seconds of the day where my mind isn't occupied by words or some other form of thought. Maybe that's why I like to sleep so much. It's the most peaceful part of my day. And for the most part, the only time my mind is ever silent is when I feel I'm under pressure. Some people say that the happiest animal on earth is a goldfish because it can only remember the last 10 seconds. While as humans, the idea of having little to no memory is basically unimaginable, I sure would like to spend a day as a goldfish, a day where the past doesn't bother me and any worries for the future are gone after a few seconds. I got the idea for this video when I was scrolling through YouTube trying to find some motivation or inspiration to write a script, when I noticed that while trying to think of what to search for, my mind went silent. Probably because there was this pressure I had put on myself to come up with something. You see, I want to make good content, or even meaningful content, so I've started to really judge the ideas that come to mind to try and make sure that they make sense and have some sort of meaning. The problem I run into, however, is that I can't fully judge an idea until it's seen some sort of development. And I kind of do this with every aspect of my life. I have ideas and they seem like good ones, but I'm very quick to judge them or even myself just for having them. Probably because I'm always afraid of not being good enough. While I feel this is somewhat natural, I also feel like I do it way too often, and it leaves me with this negative view of myself. Some days are better than others though. I'm able to find positive outlooks on myself and have good ideas that actually come to life, and that creates some positive reinforcement. So while good days can be very good, the bad days can also get pretty bad. I judge myself negatively, and as a result, I feel bad about myself, and the cycle continues. Which is why I'm pretty grateful for the good days. They serve as an example of how I should treat myself and not be so self-conscious all the time. Just the other day, I took a bunch of videos off my channel, partially because I have a vision for the future of my channel, and partly because I was judging myself for the content I had made public. Now, that's not really a problem, but it shows that no matter how hard I work on something, I'll eventually find a reason to hate it and try to get rid of it so that nobody can judge me for it except for myself. I think a big part of why we judge ourselves is because we want to be accepted by our peers and society as a whole, and I don't really have a problem with that, but I do believe in freedom of speech and expression, and thought for that matter. So I find it hard when I judge myself for thoughts that I consider to be politically incorrect. Like, why do I have to beat myself up for something that doesn't have any effect on the outside world? Thoughts come and go, and for the most part, they're out of our control. So one day I asked my best friend to list 3 things that I could do better, and one of those things was being less anti-authoritarian, and that kind of resonated, and I had to think about it for a little while, but it did kind of make sense. While I can't say I'm against keeping of the peace or whatever, I definitely don't think that people should be censored for the things they say. I think you should be able to say whatever you want in public and suffer the consequences, but not be prosecuted over it. That's not right. There was a guy in Quebec who made a joke about some kid, and it eventually went to some court, and he was faced with like $43,000 or something in fines and charges for like I don't know, like making the kid look bad or whatever. But yeah, that's not right. Like the guy, it was literally a comedy act. Like he was making a joke, and he got charged $43,000. Like I don't know if he ever got away with it without having to pay that or not. But in my eyes, like he shouldn't have had to go to court over it in the first place. Like yeah, if you say something stupid around the wrong crowd, like you might get beat the fuck up. But that's just you had it coming, like whatever. But yeah, for it to like become a legal thing, like that's not right. That goes against like freedom of speech and stuff. And yeah, in February or March we had Bill C-11 go through, which was like the Online Communications Act. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, the government kind of fucked us over. Like if you say something radical on the internet, like you're literally gonna get like less exposure than you normally would because of some shit the government made up. Like, and I seen something the other day, I don't know if it's true or not, but like there's a thing where like you can't really share news media on like social media anymore, or like that's gonna become a thing. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of scary. Like I think a big part of it is like the spread of misinformation kind of scares the government or whatever. I don't think we should be censoring people for the things they say or write or whatever. That's yeah, I feel like I'm kind of going in circles right now with this. I'm gonna hate myself later when I'm fucking editing this. Alright, that's enough.